Hello! Today I'm sharing Sephora bestsellers that I think are completely worth the money, which means it is spring savings event time. This is the kind of video I like to do to give you my top recommendations because you found it helpful in the past. So if you are a Rouge member, you can start shopping today, April 9th through April 19th and save 20%. You can shop as many times as you want throughout the sale. I am very guilty of that because I think I'm finished and then I find something else I have to have. I have all of the information that you need down in the description box for the different levels and dates along with the code that you need. I do want to note very quickly that this video is not intended to encourage those of you to shop that were not intending to do so already. The intention of this video is for those of you looking for recommendations so that you can restock items that you love and you want to buy at a discount. You can maybe try some new things that you've been eyeing up, buy that big ticket item, or whatever the reason may be. A lot of these brands never go on sale, so this is a good time to pick something up if you've been eyeing it up, whether you get 20% off or just save the tax. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get into these Sephora bestsellers that I think are completely worth it, and hopefully it will help you make some buying decisions during this Sephora sale time. I personally think this is a great time to pick up that foundation you've been eyeing up because foundation can be pricey. I have a few here that I'm just going to give a quick mention that I think are fantastic. Now, I know the title said 15, but you're getting some bonuses with some of these categories because I do give multiple options a lot throughout this video. If you're looking for that bulletproof foundation that is going to wear well from morning until night and look beautiful, no matter if you are wearing a mask or rubbing your face, whatever happens, I will always recommend Estee Lauder Double Wear. It's been a staple of mine and so many for so many years for a reason. If you've been scared of trying this because you think it's gonna look masky, I have a video on how to apply it that is very natural and it's great for every day. I live in a very hot and humid area. I also have an oily T-zone and I now have some surface dehydration because of prescription retinol, and this just looks beautiful no matter what my skin is doing, and it looks great all day. Now that said, if you want something that is truly skin-like but also wears very well during the day, but it's more controllable, easier to apply, and it's also a little more versatile in that you can have it going from sheer to, I would say, medium full, and it always looks like skin. Dior Backstage is where it's at. It's also very versatile because it kind of takes on the finish of the primer you wear underneath it. This is a holy grail foundation for me. I love it. And a new holy grail foundation for me is the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. This is an absolutely beautiful foundation. It looks very natural no matter if you're applying it with a brush or a sponge. It doesn't look bad on my dry areas, my dehydrated areas, and it lasts a long time during the day as well, which I think is really important right now, especially getting into the hotter months. I love a good powder foundation when I'm in a hurry, and this is the one that I've been reaching for a lot lately because it doesn't look like a powder. And I know a lot of people with dry skin love it as well as oily skin. It's also very versatile. Now, I forgot to grab this one when I came in here, but I have to give a mention to Urban Decay Hydromaniac Foundation. If you want something that is a little more radiant, again, no matter what skin type you have. Those with dry skin really love it because it lasts on the skin beautifully and gives that nice, soft, radiant look, but it also works really well for oily combination skin people like myself. It gives that radiance but doesn't slip off the face. I've been really impressed with it. So I wanted to give you 4 different types of best-selling foundations that I think are just fantastic. Now, I have dry textured under eyes, and being 45, you know, I need all the help I can get in the under eye area, and I do have pretty dark circles. I'm realizing that I'm reaching for one specific concealer more than others when I actually, you know, want that kind of perfected look, but I don't want to look overdone. And that is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I love this stuff. I think it's great. It is hydrating, it covers well, and it just is very flattering and brightening underneath the eye. So I'm giving you a twofer because when you pair it or any concealer with the under eye powder, you just get such a beautiful look. I have the lightest shade. It looks white, but it appears translucent and just brightens the under eye area. It is very finely milled. So you're not going to get anything cakey. You're not going to look dry. It's just going to set down, you know, and prevent any creasing that you might have had. I do prefer to apply this with a sponge though. When I apply it with just a brush, I do get a little bit of creasing underneath my eye, but if I tap it in with a sponge and then dust it away, it just works beautifully. I think these two are both worth the money. If you've been looking for, you know, that perfect under eye setting powder, look no further. If you've been looking for that concealer that will give you medium to full coverage and not make you look older or, you know, more texture than you are, this one is just great. I was late to the game with this product and I regret taking so long to try it. I just didn't see how it was going to work for me with my oily T-zone. I just thought it would make me look like a greasy mess. It doesn't. It's beautiful and I think everyone needs it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So if you're like me and you've been hesitant, I think this is worth every penny. I'm in the shade 3. I'll put all my shades down below, and for the foundation and concealer shades, there's a link to my blog where you can see every shade I am in every foundation and every concealer. Every product I talk about in this video will be linked down below in the description box as well. I use this under my foundation. I use it under my concealer and it gives a really nice, more hydrated, moisturized look. I use it on top of foundation. You can mix it in with foundation. I don't like to do that because of my oily T-zone, but a lot of people do that. This gives you a radiance, a luminosity that you just can't get from a lot of liquid highlighter type products. There are a few on the market that I love, and this is one of them. I love that it's on sale right now, so I think this is a great time to get it. I have two blush formulas that I have to share with you that I've been loving. This one is fairly new. This is the Tarte Breezy Cream Blush. I have the shade Peach Sunset and it's perfect. It's not too light, it's not too dark. I have talked a lot on my channel about the Daniel Sandler watercolors, specifically the shade Caress. I just think it's a beautiful kind of neutral peachy shade with a little bit of pink in it. I feel like this is the cream version of that. It's so easy to apply. I just dip my brush in it, stipple it on my face, and I'm done. I've applied it under powder, I've applied it over, and it's so quick and easy to use, and it wears beautifully. I don't think you could go wrong with any shade. And my second blush is the Laura Mercier Blush Color Infusion. I have been loving these lately. I used to use them years ago and of course discovered a zillion different blushes since, and I've rediscovered them and I cannot stop using them. And the reason why I think they're such a beautiful product is because of how easy they are to apply. And what I mean by that is that they do apply very sheer, so you can't overdo them and you can layer them very easily. So I have rose on most of my cheek today, and I put a little pop of strawberry just, you know, right on the apple of my cheek. I think the shades are all beautiful and they just wear beautiful and they're so flattering, especially for those of us who aren't 20 anymore and could use a little bit of extra help with not emphasizing texture. I also have a cream and a powder bronzer, both of which are fairly new. They launched in 2020. The first I've raved about a ton. This is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer. Very similarly to the blush that I just showed, this applies so easily and beautifully to the skin. It's very flattering. It wears well throughout the day. I have the shade Seychelles, and it's perfect for my light medium skin tone. Now, the powder bronzer that I love and I've also raved about is the Gucci powder bronzer. This is a great time to get this because it is a luxury product. You are going to get it on sale. This is a brand that doesn't go on sale very much or ever, I don't think. So I have the shade 3. The compact is beautiful, but the bronzer inside is gorgeous. It just looks beautiful and natural on the skin. It is the bronzer I have on today. I'm hoping I'm not too washed out in here. I'm hoping you can see the effect, but it's one of those bronzers to where you don't have to tap off your brush first. You can go right in and it just gives this beautiful radiance without being shimmery. It's very flattering. As long as they make this palette, I will recommend it in my Sephora sale recommendations videos, and that is the Smashbox Cali Contour palette. I love that they also have a deeper version of this now. This is the lighter version. I have talked in numerous videos of my love for this palette. The formula is perfect in this. I mean, truly just a blendable and beautiful, and it wears so well. I do have a backup of this already. I have also talked about how I wear this not only on my face, but I also wear it on my eyes. I'll use the bronzer or the blush as transitions. I'll use one of the highlighters on my lid, and I'll use this powder highlight on my brow bone and in my inner corner, and I'm done. And the contour shade is just the perfect tone. If you're going to get a face palette that is just great for travel, great for getting ready quickly, and is great for every day and doesn't have, you know, a ton of shimmer sheen to it, aside from the beautifully formulated highlighters, this is the palette for you. I love it. I hope they never quit making this palette. This is a good time to pick up that palette that you've been eyeing up. This is the new Urban Decay and Naked Wild West palette that a lot of people are really loving, especially for, you know, spring and summer. I love this color story. I have showed this in a video, and I just think it's a fantastic palette to get your hands on if you love neutrals, but with a pop of color. Now, the last time I checked, the Natasha Denona Glam palette was back in stock. If you've been eyeing this up, I would grab this now because it is prone to going out of stock. This is the most perfect neutral to cool palette. I adore this, and I will always recommend it. I also recommend the Natasha Denona mini palettes, certain shades. I'll have the ones that I love down below. It's just a great way to have travel palettes. Those run around $25. This is a little more expensive. That's why I like to recommend this while you can get it on sale. This is great for every day, but you can also get some really stunning nighttime looks with it too. And Tartelette Juicy, which is fairly new. This is such a great neutral palette that you can get those rosy looks from, but if you cover this up, you'll see you have neutrals right there. And the formula on this is really stunningly beautiful, very creamy, very blendable. I've really been enjoying this palette a lot. So if you've been eyeing up these or any other palettes, I think this is a great time to get them, but these are 4 bestsellers that I just had to share with you because I've been loving them. Now, I love a good palette, but on a day-to-day basis, I usually do a one-and-done look using a cream or a stick shadow. And today, I wanted to focus on Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks. I love these for their ease of use and how well they wear. Now, there's a lot of shades here, and I have even more than this. I'll have these swatched on the screen so that you can pause and take notes, but I do think all of these are really pretty, and I usually do just, you know, use one on the lid and blend it out, use a bronzer in the crease, and then line with another. But today I have 3 on just because I wanted to give a little bit of dimension. Now, I don't love the eyeshadow primer I used underneath. I felt like it kind of gripped to the caviar stick a little bit, so if it's not looking that great, that might be why. So I have nude rose on in my transition area. On the outer portion of my eye, I have amethyst, and on the inner 2/3, I have metallic taupe. Oh, and I did line with a little bit of cocoa on my upper lid. They're just very easy to use, alone or together, even with powder shadows, so I had to give them a shout out. I'm actually quite shocked at how much I've been loving Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. When I first got it, I thought it was way too clumpy and wet, and it is still a little bit clumpy, but I'm able to easily comb through it with an eyelash comb, which is something I have to use all the time, but I find it gives a very dramatic effect to my fine, sparse lashes, and my lashes still feel soft, and they don't smudge or flake. It's a really nice mascara that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I do. So if you're wanting a mascara that will give you a lot of volume and length, I would look into this. Again, give it that 2-week break-in period, but I think you'll really like it. I have 2 lip products here that both kind of serve the same function, but in different ways. I've talked a lot lately about really loving a good tinted, hydrating, nourishing lip product. And I feel like a lot of brands have launched this type of product, but not all of them have done it well. And one that I don't hear about very often, but that I absolutely love, is from Lancome. So the shade that I have is called Bouncy Beige, and it's kind of this deep beige with a red undertone. I mean, because it's sheer, it's not going to be as dark as it looks in the bullet. I'll put it on right now over what I have on. This has kind of a minty scent to it, but it's very hydrating, very nourishing, and just gives that sheer, healthy color. I love this. I love the way my lips feel with it, and I've been reaching for it a lot. lot. And on that same note, I have the NARS Oil Infused Lip Tint. I have a couple of shades of these, but I just find them to be very hydrating, very nourishing. I just love a good lip oil, and these give nice color, nice pigment, while really nourishing the lips and, you know, being very flattering. If you have lips that are starting to show some age, more lip lines, they kind of help fill them out. Both of these products do. I've just been very happy reaching for these a lot. I've had at least one of these in my purse at all times lately. I personally use Sephora sales to repurchase or get backups of a lot of my skincare products that I've run out of, or to try some new things. So I will be repurchasing my beloved Tatcha the Rice Wash. This is a holy grail for me, and I always end up running out of it about a month or two after these events. So I've learned to just go ahead and buy a backup. Now I will be doing a haul video probably the last week of the event, just to show you any new products that I bought that I haven't bought before, as well as backups and restocks of products that I love and buy, you know, every time. I think this and maybe one other product are the only products that I'm duplicating in both videos. I just had to give this a mention. But if you're feeling like you're not seeing some things that I normally put in my recommendations videos, they're probably showing up in my haul along with a bunch of other things. So on that same note, I have said many times that my skin gets along pretty well with Drunk Elephant products. The Protini Polypeptide Cream is a holy grail nighttime moisturizer for me. I love mixing it with F-Balm to help combat that surface dehydration. This combo is just beautiful for me for nighttime. Now, if I need something a little bit heavier, but that's still really great for my oily combo skin, I will move into Skin Fix, which I need more of, so that'll probably end up in my haul. But I'm thinking I am about to need some more F-Balm as well. But I think this sale is a great time to get anything from Drunk Elephant because, you know, they're a little bit pricey, but if your skin agrees with something, it agrees with something. So one day I was shopping on Sephora and I happened to notice that they started carrying Paulas Choice. My holy grail sunscreen is from Paulas Choice. It is the Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense for normal, oily, or combination skin. There's also a dry skinned version of this that a lot of you with dry skin really love too. This is mineral based. It's great for those of you like me with sensitive skin who get oily in your T-zones. It has a slight tint to it, just so you know you don't look ghost white, but it wears really well underneath makeup. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't look heavy, it just is so great. And so I'm really glad that I can get it through Sephora and right now get it with a discount. I'm going to list a couple of other sunscreens that I really like too. If you're wanting to check out some other brands and you have, you know, similar skin to me, you might like those as well. I do always stick with mineral though, because I don't like chemical sunscreens. So I do try to get sunscreen during this particular event since it is right before summer. And you know, we need a little extra and I can't find a good mineral sunscreen from the drugstore. They just don't agree with my skin. I have no idea how long Sephora has been carrying Oribe, but I looked on there one day and there it was. So if you're wanting to try anything from them, shampoo, conditioner, I think I'm going to pick up a couple. I'm just not sure what kind. I have tried the Magnificent Volume before. It's really good, or it was great for my hair type. I just might want to try something different. I really love the texturizing spray. The dry shampoo is great as well, and so this would be a good time to pick that up. Or anything from, you know, Kerastase or Olaplex. I mean, there's so many good things from Olaplex if you're wanting to, you know, work on your hair health. I always pick up backups of my Olaplex products during this event. This is also a great time to pick up that facial device that you've been looking at, whether it's the New Face or, you know, the Foreo Luna cleansing device. I have one of those, but we're moving and it's packed up. I don't know how that happened because I love it and I use it and I don't know how it ended up in a box. LED face masks are a huge thing right now. There's one by Dr. Dennis Gross that I had on my list, but I actually received one from another brand, Current Body. Now, if I hadn't received that, I would be getting the Dr. Dennis Gross one because the results that I've seen from people have just been great. And I've really been enjoying the one that I've been using. There's something about being able to walk around and wear a device that just makes me a lot more compliant than having to, you know, sit there and just just move a device around on my face. I'm loving it. If you've been eyeing up a hair tool, a pricey hair appliance, this is the time to get it. So it took me forever to cave on the Dyson hairdryer. And after I got it, I kind of kicked myself for waiting for so long because it really does cut my drying time down. And I feel like I'm using less heat but more power. So I'm also doing less damage to my hair. And that's really important to me, especially as I get older, because our hair just dries out naturally. So if I can, save any kind of extra damage to it, I want to do that. I also have been loving the Dry Bar single shot. This is different from the oval hairbrush dryers like the Revlon and then the double shot from Dry Bar. If you have shorter hair and you had trouble using those, this is the one that they recommend for that. And I've really been liking this. This is truly like drying your hair with a round brush, but using one hand instead of two. It works so beautifully. And there are different settings as well if you want, lower heat. Now, every single event, I always recommend picking up that luxury candle because you will enjoy it. I mean, we're at home a lot now and it's just an enjoyable experience. I always pick up a Nest Moroccan Amber candle from the Sephora event every single time. I will be picking up a Capri Blue Volcano candle. I love that scent and love that they're carrying it. Now I'm gonna go a little bit bougie here because I just saw that Sephora started carrying this and I happened to buy this about 2 months ago and I am in love with it. So this is the Vitruvi diffuser. They have this in several colors. Now I paid full price with this because I think it was before Sephora started carrying them. So I didn't know it was going to be in this sale or I would have waited. The reason why I spent the money on this is because it's made of stone. First of all, a lot of these diffusers are very erratic with how they diffuse. They're plastic. They have these kind of like neon rotating colors down here. This is more of a home decor type piece. It's very aesthetically pleasing, but it also diffuses very evenly. You can use any oil that you want. I mean, I got this from Amazon, but they also have essential oils on the Sephora site too. You can set it for 4 hours or 8 hours. You can have the light on, the light off. It's just a nice kind of ambient glow. And of course, how strong the scent is going to depend on how many drops of essential oil you put in the water. Home fragrance is very important to me and I love having this in my main space and having a candle elsewhere and things like that. I do also have a Pura plug-in in another room and I do have the Nest Moroccan Amber and the Capri Blue Volcano in there. I mean, there's just so many options for home fragrance scents right now. I'll have links down below, but I do always just try to pick up some kind of, luxurious home fragrance scent that's gonna, just make me feel good. On that same note, I always recommend a body fragrance of some sort. I think this is a great time to buy perfume. And I just did my 2021 favorite spring fragrances video. I'll have that linked here for you if you haven't seen it. And I'll also link last year's summer fragrance video. Since summertime is coming, that might help you pick a fragrance for right now because one of my very favorites is in that video. I hope you found this helpful. And if you're not subscribed, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. I would also love to hear one thing or more that you're planning on picking up from the Sephora Spring Savings event. Be sure to stay tuned for my haul that's coming up, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!